My name is Alam Frederasa. I'm Issue Engagement Manager from Arizona State University based in Addis. So I think, as you might know, Dr. Temtem has also informed you. The purpose of our meeting today is to share your experience about digital content creation. And could you please introduce yourself, which department and institution you came from, and also the name of course you design the content digital?
Yes, my name is Anteneh Tesfaye. I am currently the head of the Department of Architecture at Addis Ababa University, the College of Technology and Built Environment at the School of Built Environment. And we started this course delivery, online course delivery exercise just before we established the department structure. We started the course design project while I was only leading a smaller group in the chair of Architecture and Design. And through that, we were delivering a course called Integrated Architectural Project, which is a semi-interdisciplinary design course for fourth-year architecture students. So we quickly realized that we could use the digital means to deliver the course, but also manage our teaching system itself, grading and evaluation, because nowadays printing is becoming more expensive. So architecture is really based on printing drawings, and we didn't want that cost to be laid on the students fully. So we wanted to also make it possible for them to submit and engage with the course in a digital manner as well. So we approached Dr. Temtem, but luckily also the university had the same plan, or a plan that is in line with this online delivery of courses. So it was really fortunate moment. So we built on that momentum, and then we were able to design this course and deliver and test it. And I can report also, just yesterday we started the final presentation of student projects for this semester, which we delivered through this platform. And also we collected final submissions through this method. So it was quite useful.
Okay, maybe we will discuss the detail about your course process. But before that, do you have prior experience before ISHI, before taking the master class actually?
Yes, I while I was in a European university in the Netherlands, we were using some platforms such as Brightspace to deliver courses on a digital platform. So I was engaged in course creation in that process. I never took a formal training on how to do it, but I was engaged. So I could see the benefits from that, and that was also the initiation.
Okay. Yeah. So did you take master class?
I did once back here through the...
So how was the relevance of this master class for, designing the course practically?
Yeah, in its practical sense, it really showed me what goes behind the platform, what how we even understand what curricula are, and what a lesson is, what the syllabus is, and how we make consistent alignment between the course objectives and evaluation. All these things, which seemed quite straightforward before, I was able to flesh out and really understand in a comprehensive way within this MCT masterclass course, but then also followed that with the technical things of how to really set up a course as well with other courses. So it was really important step.
Okay. So did you design a fully digital course or a blended one?
It's a blended one.
Blended one.
Yeah, basically architectural design, we cannot fully engage it digitally. We have to use a blended method.
So part of the course will be delivered on face-to-face modality, and part of it will be online. So what was your criteria to categorize some contents are delivered through the face-to-face, right? Do you have any mechanism to
when we chose
when
we chose this course, we actually wanted to test the most difficult one. We have had other choices which are simpler to do virtually, maybe even fully. But the most difficult one was in architecture education. There is a one-to-one consultation with every student.
Okay.
We do on a table with drawing together, making small models together, testing some ideas in a physical sense. So that was the challenge that we wanted to engage with. So we started with the most difficult to do in a digital way or in a virtual way. But then we were able to decipher the items that are really necessary to be done in a physical space, and then some of them which are possible to engage in a digital way. And especially it was useful in facilitating exchange and information with students.
Okay. Can you take me through your planning process? Because any activity has its own plan. So what kind of activities or what kind of things you did during the planning phase?
Yes, we were a bit fortunate. Again, things have aligned for us because we started we usually do plan the courses in a digital way, graphically, I mean. So we do produce a lot of diagrams, maps, things that we believe the students can understand better to really understand the course. And we actually produce a small booklet every semester for the students to take by themselves and understand what to expect throughout the semester until the end. So we already had that practice. So the moment this idea of placing this on a virtual modality basically meant that we just have to break those components into some pieces which can be engaged with interface by interface, let's say, or step by step.
Okay. Maybe during your planning, I think you might use different resources. So what kind of resources do you use for actually designing the course?
You mean technically or
expert-wise, human resource-wise, whatever the case?
Yeah. So basically, we the integrated course that I mentioned earlier, it's semi-interdisciplinary, we call it, but also it has, within design itself, it has a lot of staff members involved. So all of us we are engaged. There was 10 teachers involved in crafting this course, and we actually do a sort of retreat to really work out the nitty-gritty of the course itself in detail. We also use different softwares, such as the Adobe family, like Adobe InDesign, Premiere, and so on. We do produce a lot of visual materials through those things, including the booklet I mentioned earlier. So those are the things that we used to draft or to prepare this course.
Yeah. Did you plan to use this multimedia studio instructional designers during your planning?
We only heard about it later, but then it was really quite useful. We have had one of our colleagues come here and record a small introductory video. We intend to make some improvements in the type of video that we wanted to provide, but we did make use of this space.
Okay. So let us jump into the actual course development process. Obviously, after making sure that you have a proper plan, then the next phase will be the actual course development. So what kind of tools did you use? Like PC? Did you use, for example, PC, internet? And in the course content, did you use also quizzes, videos to make more interactive with the students? So tell us about the course.
We used a number of laptops, privately owned, some of them institutional computers as well. We used a lot of computers. The students heavily use computers, regardless of virtual delivery of courses. For design courses, for architectural projects, they really rely on computer-aided design. So that was useful in this sense. Can you repeat the question?
So what kind of activities also you designed to make students more engaged?
To make it more attractive for them.
Interactive for them.
So for example, previously, the booklet format didn't allow us to create some quizzes or exercises or discussions among students on the platform itself. So this was possible via the Ishi platform. So we were engaging students in interaction amongst themselves on the platform itself. That was quite useful. Otherwise, by making it also accessible for them to submit material virtually, not always in a printed format, making it less expensive for them. It was more interesting for them to engage with the software or the website because it was less costly for them as well. So that's also attractive for the use of the platform.
Do you give them additional reference materials,
Yes.
PDF, maybe videos?
Yes, well, we do give them those materials, some of them in when we are in a physical space together, but some of them also, they are available via the platform itself.
If you see the masterclass, since you have gone through the masterclass, it tries to address, it is inclusive. So do you have that kind of thought while you are designing? So that to address, for example, visually impaired or
great that
hearing
you
impairment.
Great that you bring that up. We didn't plan for it at the beginning. So the masterclass was, for me, an eye-opening event where I started to understand specific requirements or ways how we can help people be included in the delivery of the courses. We tried some of them, but there's a way more to do in that sense on our side.
So from your experience, what was the easiest part of digital content development maybe?
It was easy. It made communication with the students much easier. Information can be passed easily. Time control was much easier. For example, we work with a lot of submission deadlines, and then those deadlines were easily maintained because it's a virtual setup. So it was easy that way. And it really helped us not to be bothered a lot with managerial aspects of the course and focus more on the content and how we engage with students. So that was really helpful. Yeah,
that is a benefit.
Yes.
So while developing, I think you co-create the content together with a team of 11 or 10 experts.
10, yes.
So from your experience, there are, in the process of course development, there are some activities that some part of the course development you feel difficult, but sometimes there are some things that is easier for you to do. So which one is the easiest part, and which one do you think is the difficult part in digital content?
Because of our background, it was easy for us to produce visual materials, support materials. What was more difficult and what took our energy more was to create clear alignment between the objectives of the course, expected outcomes, and evaluation. So that alignment exercise was a bit more a new exercise for us. So that was, I wouldn't say difficult, but it was a good exercise for us. Yes.
Yeah, maybe obviously you will have also an opportunity to do the course again. So if you want to do it again, then what kind of actions will you take further to improve the course?
Pre-planning even better, because the materials that we were producing before were helpful. They made it easier, but we only used 2 months maximum 2 months to actually work out the details of the course and make it available for students. And even so, we were not able to start the semester right away with the students. So the virtual school or the virtual classroom started a bit later. So if we had planned better, then maybe we can even start the course on the day one with proper information available for the students, but also easy for ourselves as well.
Yeah, maybe do you have any specific area of improvement you identified, maybe after you collecting feedback from colleagues or from students, whatever the case? Is there any feedback you are considering to further improve the course, maybe?
Not on the content or structure of the course itself, but more on the technology and some decision-making processes. So, for example, students were at the beginning, we were not able to register students on the platform, and it took a few steps to figure out on how to do it. And later on, we only could send their emails centrally to the e-learning office here, and then they were the ones who registered them for us. So we were not able, for example, to easily send an invitation via email to the students, and for the students to be able to register quite easily. So that created a bit more difficulty. And also for now, it's understandable that we have a central way of checking quality of the structure, the content that we produce. And so our course needed to be verified centrally here, and it took also a few more days, maybe a week for that to happen. So maybe eventually in the future we are able to do these things in a decentralized way, and that's much easier for us.
Okay, excellent. So I think the course is delivered, right?
Yes.
So you have been maybe engaging in a face-to-face classroom, teaching in the face-to-face environment, and also now you are experiencing, teaching online as well. So how do you compare onboarding students in the conventional modality of face-to-face teaching while with that of online?
It is much easier, as I said earlier, as well for the students, because it makes it easy for them it gives them a whole map of the course from the get-go, so they can understand what to expect every week we come by to in a physical space or even virtually. So that's the most important improvement from the previous modality, but also it was cost-effective for the students themselves, which was important for us to consider, because in education and architecture, we do a lot of printing of materials, and that's really becoming costly for them. So that was useful. So, for example, today and starting from yesterday, they are doing final presentation. It's like a final exam of their semester. And in this evaluation, in previous times, we put drawings on papers on walls in large rooms, full wall presentation, and then we'll be moving from one drawing to the other when we do discussions. But with this issue platform, we are able to do on one screen, flip through different pages of the drawings and do discussions in a much easier and flexible way than. So there is another aspect to it. Maybe technically, architecture also is scale of the drawing matters. So sometimes we ask them to print, but in a less costly way, only on limited moments we ask them to do that. So this is the main difference between fully delivering it in person and in digital way.
Okay. Maybe what do you think what went smooth with engaging with the students virtually? Is there any thing that maybe the digital literacy, there might be a challenge. So in general, what is your evaluation about this course delivery online? If you could tell me this is something positive and this is something a challenge from the students' point of view.
We really have to do an investigation on that. We have to talk to the students and really make evaluation maybe in the coming weeks. But from quick observation, what I can say is the lack of digital literacy had an impact, of course. Some students were late in the registration process because of lack of resources and also knowledge on how to quickly navigate digital media. So a common training for the students will be much useful. Also, some of us also can benefit from such trainings as well. But overall, technical stuff.
So you feel course management is easier online?
Yes, it is.
So did you get feedback from students so far?
Not yet. So we are still in. They just made their submission the day before yesterday, and they started final presentation. And afterwards, we do intend to make evaluative discussion and also feedback gathering methods.
Maybe I think some of the challenges is some of the students may not have access to device, access to internet, and the digital literacy challenges also you mentioned. So how did you overcome this challenge? Did you design any strategy to support this kind of students so that they will not be excluded?
It's true, yeah. Well, to start with, architectural education again is drawing based.
Yeah.
And nowadays, drawings are not anymore on drawing tables with hands. That was how I was educated. We didn't know, but maybe while I was a student, the computer-aided design was just starting, so there were AutoCAD and some softwares like that. But nowadays, almost every drawing is done on digital softwares. Computer-aided design is the mainstream way of doing design. So students already have this challenge because they need to have a laptop which is capable of running all different softwares for drawing making. So we already have that challenge even without the idea of involving them in a digital course, but then also coming to the issue platform and how, that problem also continues. But how did we try to mitigate this? We cannot do it, especially, for example, computer-aided design is there, so we cannot. Well, we do give drafting lessons on hand, drawing lessons on hand, but that's already a disadvantage for the students to rely only on hand drawing submissions, for example. So they will be disadvantaged in that way. Pedagogically, there is an issue. Technology is here, and then we have to catch up. And financially, students are not necessarily capable to manage these expectations. But maybe when you compare it from other disciplines, which are not heavily computer reliant or laptop reliant, maybe we have it even better because they really need the computers for the regular learning as well.
Yeah, maybe as a person going through this journey, you might have some recommendation for those people who are planning to start afresh. So do you have any recommendation?
Yeah. Well, as I said earlier, we generally started from the difficult course to deliver virtually so that we can learn more clearly as to what to expect and what to do better. I think there are other courses which I believe within architecture education that can be virtually more compatible, easily compatible. So I really encourage all of those to embark on these methods. It's quite initially building it can be tasking, but once you have it set up well and once it's running well and once the students are used to this digital media, I think it's quite useful to go away from managerial things and focus even more into in-depth knowledge exchange and production. So I encourage all, even outside of architecture education, to involve either in a blended way or in a full digital way to involve in
Some instructors, they feel that it is the toughest journey. Of course, it is not easy always, but
yes,
just to shape that kind of mindset.
It's true, because also we experienced it also in our department. Some of the courses or some of the professors want to deliver digitally. They say, okay, this is a lot of work to transfer what I was teaching in an analog way into a digital media. And some of them ask to be, for example, remunerated properly so that they can produce a good product for the students as well. I can understand it's a lot of work. In this example, in this specific case that we exercised with our group, we just did it because we thought it was important for us to do it. But I can understand those who can be hesitant in a sense to say it's a lot of work to transfer this. But what I can say is that once you have already done it once, then it can be used and reused. It can be modified. It can grow. It can improve every time you give the course in the same manner.
So if I phrase it correctly, you say it is important and it is worth to do it.
Yes.
And it's not also a rocket science.
It's not difficult at all.
Yeah.
It's not difficult. It's as any new platform, you have to get some exposure to it, some training to it. But otherwise, it's not really difficult to embark on. What is more difficult is to change the modality from delivering a course in a physical science. That's exactly the instructional design aspect needs more maybe investment in time, but also financially as well.
Doctor, thank you so much.
My pleasure.
It was really